Hello, everybody. George Pratt is here. I'm having a quick conversation with my buddy Nathaniel Hospian. Is my center
Hovsepian. Yeah.
Hospian from North Augusta, South Carolina. He's a real estate investor like me. He's been in the mentorship since is it May
It's May of
2022.
something like that.
22. He works full time. He does this with his beautiful wife. He has two kids, 2.5 and 1 10 months. So man, aside from being a killer real estate investor, obviously he's being a super dad on the side.
I appreciate that.
No problem, man. So yeah, just wanted to bring you on board and kind of get your kind of share with us your journeys thus far. You know, what got you into it, where you at now, and kind of like where you see yourself.
Okay.
And so I guess start off, Nathaniel. What got you? What were you doing before real estate investing?
I did a lot of stuff. I've been kind of quote unquote around the block. I was in the Marine Corps for a little while. I did 4 years and a month in the Marine Corps. I
Wow.
broke my wrist, so I had to stay in a little bit. Yeah, rah. Um, I had to stay in a little bit longer to like rehab my wrist. When I got out, I did some odd jobs. I was a mechanic for a little while. I went to mechanic school. I worked at a bus depot. I worked like valet. I worked at UPS for a little while, like loaded trucks, just kind of finding my way. Um,
Hmm.
I kind of stumbled into real estate. Bought a condo in California when I was going to school at Cal State Long Beach.
Sweet.
It appreciated, and when I had met my wife at Cal State Long Beach and told her like, hey, I'm moving as soon as we graduate. She was on board. So once we graduated, we moved to Oklahoma. Sold the condo in California and had this like chunk of change sitting in the bank. Like, what do we
Nice.
want to do? What do we want to do? Well, we knew we wanted to buy a house for ourselves, so we were looking for a very kind of specific thing. We wanted to get some land.
Okay.
We were so used to just being like in this condo, living right next to people, like cramped all the time, hearing the baby next door cry, like this and that. Like, let's spread our wings a little bit. That was a main factor for us moving to Oklahoma.
Right.
A week before we were supposed to close on this property, we find out my wife got this great job an hour and a half away. So we
Wow.
decided instead of this being our home that we're going to live in, we're going to buy this as an investment property. So I ended up doing like almost all the work myself on the house.
Wow.
Got it ready. I got it ready to rent. We had it as a rental for like 2 or 3 years. And then when we moved here to South Carolina, we ended up selling the stuff that we had in Oklahoma. So that
Okay.
was kind of how I got started. And like, once you get like the taste of it in your mouth, you're like, oh, this is possible. This is a
Sweet.
thing that people do. Yeah. And so before joining Sub 2, I was just kind of dabbling in it. It was a hobby. Looking back, I kind of wish I would have taken it a little bit more seriously because I'd be further along than I am now. But it's part of the journey. It's what led us to here, and we're happy and excited to be here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, man, sounds like an interesting journey you made,
Yeah.
Nathaniel. It sounds similar to mine's. Obviously, but it's what were your takeaways from? Because it seems like you went from kind of like job to job. Did you get released, or did you maybe feel like a rut that sometimes we feel like, man, I think I deserve more, or the opportunity to jump to the next job
I
comes up.
just, yeah, I just, I was in a lot. They were just entry level things I was doing, kind of almost to bide the time just to get extra income while I was dabbling in investing.
Right.
I never was working anywhere like full time because I still was primarily concerned about, building our investments, buying houses and that kind of stuff. So it was just like odd jobs. I worked somewhere for 3 or 4 months. I was like, okay, I'm tired of this. Let's go do something else.
Gotcha. Okay.
So it was fun. I got to
Mhm.
learn a lot of different things, to meet a lot of different people.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it wasn't like I knew going in, or I was thinking going in, this is my career. I'm going to be a valet.
Right. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds interesting. Before I jump into the real estate, you're going from job to job. And thank you for your service, by the way.
Yeah.
You know,
Thank you for yours.
yeah, no problem. Uh, when you say you went to college, what university was it?
It was Cal State Long Beach.
What did you study?
Yeah, I was a mechanical engineer major.
Okay.
Like, I was a mechanic in the Marine Corps. I was a mechanic for a little while when I got out. So when I decided to go to school, I was like, what do I want to do? And I
Mm-hmm.
just thought, I'm good with math. I'm good with numbers. I'm good with like problem solving.
Mm-hmm.
I like mechanics. Okay, let's do that. And then about a year before graduating, I was like, nope, don't want to do it. Don't want to do it.
Oh man.
Fortunately, like my senior year was a breeze. I had gotten like, except for the you have to do this one specific engineering course your senior year.
Okay.
I had like really like freshman level classes my senior year because
Nice.
I had just postponed stuff.
Sweet.
So it was like, it wasn't that big of a deal. Like taking all these classes that knowing that it wasn't what I wanted to be doing. So it was kind of nice.
Okay.
Sorry, the kiddo, the 10-month-old is like right at my feet right now,
Oh
climbing on
man.
me. Yeah, he loves cords, and this is a long cord for him to
Oh
climb
yeah.
up.
As long as you don't stick the what's that kids
Yeah,
do? Stick the fork in
yeah,
the
in the socket. Yeah, he
yeah.
likes doing that too. Unfortunately,
Gotcha.
yeah,
Well, Nathaniel, man, that sounds interesting. As far as just curious, because it seems like you say these jobs that you went to were entry level, and then with college, you weren't really feeling it towards the end. What about being in sub two for since you say May of 2022, and we are currently in September?
yeah,
This is the
it's
longest, other than obviously being in love with your wife.
yeah.
This seems like the longest tenure of something you kept at it. What do you think has kept you motivated or wanting more?
I think kind of the quote unquote light at the end of the tunnel. We
Mhm.
have goals of what we want to accomplish within real estate, and we want to accomplish for our life and our family and our children. Um, and so just knowing that this is a vehicle that's going to take us there. Of course, there's days I get up in the morning and I don't feel up to making the calls. And what do? I just like do some jumping jacks and say, try to like self motivate and
I
make
love it.
calls because
True.
as soon as the phone starts ringing and you're in a conversation with somebody, like all that other stuff kind of goes away. At least
Hmm.
for me, and I'm able to just zone in on talking to a person. Um, so there's times when I don't know if this is getting off topic here, but there's times when I gotta just take a 5 minute break and I go sit in the other room for 5 minutes and like just meditate, like clear
Hmm.
your mind. Okay,
Right.
come back. Now it's time to get back on the phones again.
Hmm.
Sometimes you got to do that.
I,
We're not.
I,
I'm not a robot. I don't know. There are
right.
people that are robots out there, but that's not me. So yeah, I mean, we want to own vacation rentals kind of across the country.
Hmm.
That's our kind of 3 to 6 month plan. We've recently pivoted from going pretty heavy direct to seller with a cold caller and cold texter.
Right.
We I think last time we spoke actually we let them go. It was
Right.
a tough decision because we've been doing that for over a year now,
Man, that's
and
tough.
yeah, yeah. So it was a lot of just taking stock in the values that we're having, the values we're trying to
Hmm.
create for our kids, the time that is spent me just being on the phone, like following up with people because it's a grind sometimes.
He's at.
Um, and while we were having success doing it, like, was the juice worth the squeeze? And for
Mhm.
us at this moment in time right now, what it's not. So we decided to let them go. We're still going to do some like more honed in, just really niche down stuff, foreclosures, like tax lien type stuff. But
Okay.
marketing to a list of 10, 15,000, like that's just not our jam right now.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate that tip you gave us as far as and I can relate. It's when we are cold calling, and I can relate that to like owning a business. Nathaniel's like you're the CEO of your business, and if you're the only one working, and you gotta go, I'll say the proper word, poop. Gotta take care of business in the
Yeah.
bathroom. If you don't have a janitor, you're gonna have to take off that business coat, and get the plunger going and get that brush
Yep.
going, and then do it yourself until either you can scale up and hire somebody to do it and offer that training to do it. So sometimes it can get stressful and learning. Nathaniel, I'm pretty sure you just had mentioned that example. It's like it's different between motivated and disciplined. It's
Right.
like those days you have that motivation, you got that right chai tea or whatever you drink to get you pumped, jumping jacks. But sometimes it's those hard days that you just got to do it. And for
Yeah.
some reason, you get good at it, and those are the days that count the most.
Yep. Yeah, those are the days that really move the needle. Um,
Mhm.
I can do this kind of thing. It's There's a lot
Gotcha.
of different guru type things that you can woo woo type things that you can do, but really it's just inside of you. What's pushing you forward? What's moving you?
Got it. Got it.
You
Okay.
know,
And man, and so I believe you mentioned that you work with your wife as well in real estate.
that is correct. Yeah,
Man,
more and more as the days go on here. When we were when we were working with the VA, it was really a lot on my plate, and she was working. She was just with the kids most of the day,
right.
and she'd be doing lead gen type stuff in the mornings before the kids go to sleep. I mean, before the kids wake up, and then at night after the kids go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And it was okay, but we want to be we're partners, so we want to be as equal as we can be. So we're working on getting her to be able to go walk properties with confidence, and
Right.
make make estimates for rehabs and stuff like that, and then um, you know, comping properties and like looking at properties just online from pictures, like, is this even worth our time kind of stuff.
Right.
Whereas in the past, it was me doing all that stuff. So it's been fun. It's exciting. It's also
Mm.
like nerve wracking. It's just
Okay.
changes. We're in an uncomfortable place right now, but you know,
Yeah.
that's how you grow, right? Like
Yes, yes, sir. And how to just tell me the thing. What would be the secret? Because me myself, we're similar past. I try to get my wife to come on board, but I think she calls me like the mini Tony Robbins, and I just come on, you can do it, you
yeah,
can do it. Like, hey, babe, get that crap out of here. I don't want none of that.
yeah,
And I think I overwhelmed her to where she was cold calling for me, but she
okay,
couldn't handle the whole the part that we can relate to. Unfortunately, there's a lot of anger out there, and especially if you're dealing with pre foreclosures or why the H are you calling me for?
yeah,
And it's getting over those objections. But if you hear most of the day, and like you're saying, you need to take that break sometimes. Go to a quiet area, meditate, and go back to remembering what it was your why. And for her, if this wasn't really something she wanted to do, she was really trying to help me out. So I
right.
appreciate that. But I realized that this is not for her. But I guess for you, Nathaniel, it'd be different. She actually has a passion for it as well, just like yourself.
She has a passion for the non talking to people stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that was very clear when she said she was going to leave her job and start working with our business. Like, you're going to be the one that talks to the seller still. Like, you're going to be the one that talks to the agent still.
Mm,
She just wants to do back end stuff. I think there's a little part of her that wants to talk to some people every now
gotcha.
and then. Yeah, but it's pretty. She wants to be the behind the scenes. She's good with not being like the face of the company, even though
Right.
she's the better looking one there. But
She would say she's the Cody to your pace.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, nice, nice, nice. Okay, and being that as far as there's so many other mentorships out here, Nathaniel. As far as your experience and stuff too, what did you come in expecting, and what do you like about it so far?
Yeah, that's so tough. Because I've been in probably three other ones at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Two that were very, very real estate related, and one was like it was real estate related, but it was more focused on like SEO building website stuff. Um,
Okay.
and it's like subto is like nothing that's else that's out there. I don't know about other mentorship type things, in
Mm-hmm.
other industries, but just from a like an education aspect
Mm-hmm.
and the coursework that's thousands and thousands of hours of stuff. Like, any question that you have real estate related is answered in subto. And then you have the community aspect, just the Facebook group alone. Like, that's better than any mentorship. And then
Got it.
you have like live things with Pace is constantly like iterating the coursework and like the things that he's providing to you. It's incredible. I don't Yeah. It,
Got it.
I
Okay.
can't even put it into words. I came in expecting. To be honest, I was expecting it to be like not a scam, but not
Right. Okay.
because that was my experience up until then.
Exactly.
Um,
Previous experiences are like,
yeah, you're just like, okay, well, I'm gonna spend this money, and I'll probably learn something, but I'm
right.
sure I'm gonna be disappointed. But like, no, I mean, it changes your mindset, it changes your business like acumen, it changes everything.
Right. I can agree with you on that, Nathaniel, as far as that. And just curious, I get this question a lot from either newer students or people curious about getting in. When people ask you, is it worth it? Right now, currently, can you how can you answer that question, Nathaniel? If is it worth the amount of money that you spent, and have you gotten it back since you've been in?
For me, it was
Hmm.
because I was just I was looking for something to give me that like little push to really take the action.
Right.
I think, to be honest, like for a lot of people, it's not. It's a case by case basis. Like,
Right.
are you going to come in and take consistent action every day?
Yes.
Because, yeah, because if you are, then yeah, it's right for you. But if
Got
you don't have the time or the ability or the will to devote consistent action every day, then no, don't waste your time. Don't waste your money because it's not.
true.
You're not going to get the value out of it. The
Got it.
value is for people that are going to come in and like do the work because it's not like there's no get rich quick. Like that's not how
Mhm.
this is. Like
True.
whether you're gonna be doing wholesaling or whether you're gonna be flipping or lending, like it all requires work. It's not just like oh, there's gonna be people knocking on my door to take my money and give me a 50% return on my money. No, that's not how it works. Like you still have to go out there and network and make the connections and find people who need your money and are actually going to legitimately pay you back.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah, it's still work. It's no matter no matter how you go about it, there's work to be done. So, but like, yeah, I mean, long story short, yes, it
I
is
got it.
absolutely
Got it.
worth it.
Okay.
But yeah,
Yeah, I think last time I did the what I spent and what I've earned, I think I can agree with you too. I've gotten, if not even, I surpassed what I paid into it, Nathaniel, and
yeah,
also learning. I got more than expected. It's changing that mindset of going from a scarcity mindset, like, oh man, I got this money, what do I do with it?
yeah,
Towards learning you are your best investment.
yeah,
And then you having kids, you having a wife, I'm pretty sure it changes because now you have a bigger goal. Like, I want to set something up for my
right,
wife. I want to set something up for my kids coming up to
yeah,
where they won't have to be forced to either go to the military like us, or even though we didn't have force, at least give them those choices.
right.
The world can be their oyster, per se.
Yeah, like it's before joining this mentorship. I had joined other ones and spent a decent amount of money on them, but since joining, I've spent at least that amount on other coaching programs,
Mm,
and I would have never imagined, you know, 5, 7, 10,000, however much money you're spending on these. But
right.
like that's the only way you grow. That's not the only way you grow, I should say, but like it's a way you can accelerate your growth by going through people that have the experience and like
Mm.
asking good questions. There's a lot of them at Sub too that I don't want to name drop people, but um,
Drop
I
them.
would
Drop them.
drop 'em. I mean, yeah, this Marlon Johnson, Creighton Bertrand, like Elena Tang. Like, yeah,
So
there's
many.
lists of them. Yeah, there's a lot of them. Those are just the quick ones that pop up to
Right.
my head. But yeah, Keston. I mean, geez,
Right.
like crazy people, and not crazy, like
Right. Right. And like,
crazy. Yeah, like mind blowing.
exceptional,
Right?
or yeah, like, ooh, that diamond. You're
Like
such a
two
diamond.
years ago, I would have said like, oh, personal coach or like business coach, like, wow, I can't spend that kind of money on that. But like
Right.
when you're that's what going back to your scarcity mindset. Like, no, we got to have an
Exactly.
abundant mindset. Like what's the future value of this coaching that I'm getting? Man, I wouldn't have made the change, and I wouldn't feel as good as I do now with my relationship and my business six
Hmm.
months ago because I didn't have all the knowledge and stuff that I got from my coach.
Right. Right.
You know?
And that gives you the confidence to make that certain decision that you just made. You mentioned
Yeah.
about not
Now
get
I'm thinking like, oh,
uh,
sorry, I cut you off.
no problem.
I'm thinking like, what's the next? Where's the next course or where's the next like mentorship or where's the next place that I can put money and get and accelerate my time and stuff back out of? Like it's
Right.
just changing your mindset. Like, okay,
And
we got to be doing something else. Yeah,
consistently investing in yourself and learning
exactly.
that it's not the money. It's, what am I getting out of this, or how can
Right.
I make this better? And
Yeah.
yeah,
It's like
man.
just like my opportunity cost. Like, yeah, I got this whatever $1,000 here, but like,
Mhm.
what am I missing out on by not spending that $1,000 right now?
Right,
Gosh.
man. Sounds
Yeah.
good, Nathaniel. And I love it. Like, say, and also learning the values of having a supportive wife that believes in you too. That come on, baby, you can do it.
Yeah,
And
yeah, it's super
man,
helpful.
that goes back to that phrase, Nathaniel. Behind every great man is a greater woman.
Yep.
And man, and just having that vulnerability to be able to share those, like say those days, like, oh man, I got cursed out all day. Like,
Yeah.
come on, baby, don't let that affect you.
Right.
And they have their certain way to motivate you because they know you best at times.
Yeah. Better than I know myself a lot of
Yeah,
times.
man, bro. But man, it was a pleasure, bro. I did like say just like when you say you didn't know I was in the army.
I
Before
know.
this interview, I didn't know you were in the Marines, and
Yeah.
we have so many similar backgrounds,
Yeah.
mechanic wise, and odd end jobs. And I guess I wanted to ask you, Nathaniel, during my journey in those jobs, I was always like, I had that message of people, George, you need to, like when I was in a warehouse job, George, you don't need to be here, you need to be in the office. Nah, I want to work with everybody else. I want to drive the forklift, this and that.
Yeah.
But I didn't pay attention to those clues. They were like, no, you're meant for better. You're meant to be
Yeah.
a leader. So where and sub two, that's what helped me realize that too. And learning to be a leader is like kind of like in order to be a leader, you need to learn how to be a servant. And for me, it'd be like being a servant to God or whatever entity, a higher power you believe in, being a servant to your wife, be a servant to your kids, and then being a servant to your community around you. What do you think about that?
I think that's you. Like you hit it on the head. You
Right.
hit it totally on the head. I like. It's when you were saying that about the people like in the warehouse telling you, you should be doing this office, these office things, or you're meant for more. It kind of reminded me, like, ever since I was a kid, teachers and people have been saying, "Oh, he has so much potential. He's not living up to his potential." I
Yeah.
finally feel like I'm on the path to living up to my
You
potential.
are, bro. You
Yeah,
are, man. I appreciate you. And just like I say, we're in similar groups and we share our wins, also learning about sharing our losses. Like,
oh
man, I
yeah,
knocked up 5 deals, but I messed up 10 of them.
yeah,
But being able to have the vulnerability, and I love that I guess Pace teaches that among our other fellow students, and
hmm,
having the opportunity to reach out to Ellen Tang or Ellen or Keston and have those opportunities to share those stories and be able to get a mentorship, if not on the side, and just they devoting their time to us sometimes.
yeah,
Quick 45-minute talk, like, hey bro, get out of your head,
yeah.
get it done. Like, oh crap,
Yep. It's
man.
past. It's in the past. Drop the pack. Move on to the next one. Yep.
Exactly.
Yep. It's tough to do sometimes, but when we have this support system like we do, it,
Right.
it helps. It just makes it a lot easier.
Exactly, Nathaniel. Well, shoot, let's I guess of course, I know you're a busy man, so I don't want to take up too much more of your time. But right now, tell everybody where what your current goals are and how maybe somebody like maybe in your area can help you out as far as maybe bringing an opportunity, and how would that work for somebody curious?
Yeah. So like I said, we're in South Carolina. We're primarily buying. We're in North Augusta, South Carolina, so we're right on the border. We're buying in Augusta, Georgia, and kind of the surrounding areas. So like a 40-ish minute drive from us from North Augusta is
Okay.
kind of what we're looking for. We're looking for two ones at least, 1,000 square feet. Something where I can come in and add some value to, build up
Okay.
some equity.
Nice.
But if you got deals out there that in this area, that's kind of our buy box. I'm
Okay.
also you're aware I'm a closer. I've been doing this for a few years now, and really honed in on over the past like year or so. So if anybody out there, you included, I
Yeah.
think you got it covered at this point, George. But if you need help talking to sellers, I'm more than willing to jump on a call with you and give you kind of a path forward. I always recommend, like, take it as far as you can take it, and
Mm-hmm.
then once you fail, bring it to me,
Gotcha.
because I can, like, I'll just be a third party. That the seller doesn't need to know we know each other.
Gotcha.
Especially if at the end of the call they're like cussing you out and telling you you're never talk to them again. Like,
Right.
that's it happens. Um, but yeah, you can find me. You just search my name there, Nathaniel Hovsepian. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all under that name. I think if you just type that into Google, I'll pop up in a few different forms. So
Gotcha. Okay.
yeah,
I will. What I'll do after I'm learning how to do is editing stuff,
Yeah,
Nathaniel.
yeah,
Once I'm done, I'll put it in my YouTube, and I'll add your either your website, your ways they can contact you as well if they're in that area,
awesome.
and maybe have an opportunity for you because like I'm learning in the creative group, people are so curious, and so they and sometimes from these books, sometimes that rookie that doesn't know what they're doing because they're not overthinking like we may overthink, they might run into opportunity and say,
Yeah,
Nathaniel, I got something,
yep,
I don't know what it is, but to have that comfort of having somebody with your expertise and openness to where no, I'm gonna take this from him and I'm gonna do it myself. No, come on in,
yeah,
let's share the experience. I'll share my knowledge with you, and let's close this deal together. Let's, first of all, it's all about, figuring out that problem they have or trying to help them get to that goal that they need to get to.
yep. Yeah,
Cool.
absolutely. We're better. I mean, we're better together. That's the fact.
Collaboration over competition.
Exactly. There you go.
Love it, love it. Well, Nathaniel, well, thank you very much for, like I said, taking out the time of being a part-time super dad and other half closer. But
Yeah,
thank you for your time. Like I said, I'll add the information in the link so that people can contact you if they're in that area or want to know more about your buy box.
awesome, brother. I appreciate you, dude.
Cool, man. All right.
Good talking to you.
Good talking to you as well. And record.